editor, towering at 6.
Okay, let's do a quick attendance. Rashid? Dietrich? Chanyang? Deepak is there. Harshini? It's your last name.
Kim Song.
Lauren? Not there. Sissy? Priya is here, yeah. That's Piyush, okay. Look at you a bit more so I remember. Piyush. Pujita is here, yes. Jinyang. Okay, I'll have to look at you for a second to remember. Okay. Ryan. Okay. Vamsi Krishna. Perfect. Ananya, I think I've seen her. Yes. Sravani. Sravani is not there. Aditya? Aditya. Okay. Josian is not there. We're going to put him as this. Madhuri. Okay. Satya, Hartwig. Xiantang. Okay. Nivan. Okay. Jian Wang. Okay. Wanzhang. Jayu. Jayu? You're Jayu. Okay. Jinze is there. Okay. Yuanzhen. Yuanzhen. Yuming. Yuming. Okay. Yuming. Jingjing is your Jingjing. Okay. And what's your name?
Satya.
Satya.
It's
And you are? You're Lauren. Yes. Okay, so we're missing Sravani and Josian is sick. Just Sravani. And that's Sravani. Okay. Very good. With 2 minutes late, all the class that can be here is here. Perfect. Okay. So I'm really excited to see all the analysis that you guys did on the apps. So I'm really looking forward to that. One thing I'd like to say is that for those of you who haven't made presentations before, a typical rule of thumb for a slide is about 2 minutes. So I've seen a presentation with 16 pages. I don't know which group that is, but that means on the face of it like 32 minutes, okay? So we don't have that much time. So those of you who have, that's why I sort of said 4 items, and what I really meant was like 4 pages, because 4 pages we can go through in about 5-6 minutes if we compress everything. But for the other presentation, for those who have made too much, they need to cut. And I will need a timer. Actually, I'll do the timer myself. I'll put the timer for, let's put it 6 minutes, okay? At 6 minutes, the timer will go on, and then we'll go at 5 minutes, the timer, then they have to wrap up and take a few questions, okay? So let's do it like that. And we can do with group order. Group 1 is this group here, and we can get them on podium. Okay? Timer.
de que es esa, no.
Did we say 5 or 6? 5. So if you could if you could sort of swap people as you go through the pages, not one person does the presentation, that would be great. All right, I'm starting the thing.
Okay. Hi, I'm Freya. These are my Lauren. Yeah. I'm Linda. So the app that we chose is Transact Mobile Ordering, which is, if you've noticed, it's what we use at in Benson. So the purpose of this app, it's mainly used in higher education institutions like ours. So university and college students use it to order food and then pick it up. And the problem it's solving is that it connects to our Access card, so it directly deducts money from that for food and other services. And it streamlines the ordering process because you can see all the different food stalls that are, or food stations that are available, and then order from that. You can order from as many as you'd like. And in our particular school, there's no really monetization. Like if you guys have noticed, there is like a loyalty, like there's a STARS program, but we don't really use it. But some ways to monetize the app are through loyalty reward programs, automated marketing campaigns, or even subscription fees. So if Senator did decide to become subscription fees with, again, how they pay for the app, then that would have been an option.
So what works well, I think one is that it has a very simple layout. So when you open the mobile order app, the first thing you will see is that the open places with the colorful icon. And it's like what kind of food is available now. And if you tap one of them, you will see its full menu. And let's say if you tap the SCU burrito bowl, you will see the food description. And another thing that works well is the student can customize the food on mobile order app. For example, for the SCU burrito bowl, students can choose which protein they want, and extra protein or not, toppings or not, and cheese or no cheese. And the main function for the mobile order app is that it can order food online, so it's very convenient for students to order and pick it up. It saves time.
This app faces several key issues which will negatively impact the user's experience. So the first is the registration process. So this app doesn't have the third-party blogging support like Google or Apple. So it forcing users to go through the multiple steps just to sign up, and increase frustration, and especially for the new users. They have to try hard to just for sign up. So the secondly is the it has the poor UI designs. Like you can say some of the like the characters and on the screen, even just in one screen, some of them are like very tiny. It's not very readable, and then some are like larger. So it can like cause the visually clutter. So yeah, and for the navigation is not very, I would say not very like smooth, because like when you try to get the order check out as soon as possible, then you have to go through like multiple screens. Like even like Remy mentioned that you can customize something, but you have to go through several like screens to do it. So it's not very efficient. So all those reasons. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing is like, I don't know if you realize that there's no like combined shopping carts. So you have to like go through each like food provider and to place the order. And there's no such like a shopping cart can have all the orders all together.
Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Okay, so one thing about the college dining points is that they don't usually roll over to the next quarter if you don't use them up. So one new feature that could be added to this app is expense tracking, where you track your points to see if you're underspending or overspending. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. This was a very nice presentation. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, I have one question actually. You said navigation was a little bit too difficult. Can you explain what you meant? Because earlier, what contradicts with that is that earlier at the very beginning you said that it's really nicely designed. It's clear from one page to the other if you go to the first page.
So yeah,
But now you're saying the navigation is bad. So
for what I experienced is like, so you basically want to place the order as soon as possible. You want everything to go on page sometimes. So actually Remy showed that the previous page is like, oh, you can customize it. It's very detailed, which is good, but you don't want like just keep swiping. Like you want to be one less, like one screen. I think it will be more efficient.
okay.
So like you have to like, oh, I have to go back.
Oh, sorry. No, I just wanted to add on to that. Like in my experience, like sometimes if I'm trying to get one of the dishes, like say from La Korea, trying to get a burrito bowl, if I wanted to be vegetarian, then I can't just say, like, or if I don't want a specific topping, then I can't just do like, oh, choose all that apply. Like you have to choose one or the other. So if they had like just like the one that's like choose that apply box, you can just check as many as you'd like, then that would be great. Otherwise, it's more like it's like a required. So.
Very good. Thank you very much. All right, group 2, please. Okay, shall we go?
Hi all, my name is Deepak Chaudhary and these are my teammates Satya Hardik and Vamsi Krishna. Today we are presenting you the existing app analysis of an app called Splitwise. I'm sure many of you have used Splitwise because you are probably this is used by many friends or group of people within the same family. So the app simplifies the process of expense sharing within a group of people. Splitwise helps creating groups, add expenses and settle them. So whether you are a group of friends or a family dining at a restaurant, it'll be easy to create a group and split the expenses if you want to do so. So the target audience for this application is mainly the friends, family or whoever that share an expense together. Consider it a grocery shopping or a dining at a restaurant or other cases. Monetization. This app uses a freemium model where the basic features like adding expenses are provided for free, but even there is a limit on the number of expenses that you can add per day. And if you want more premium features like itemized bills sharing and expense addition, search and tracking through charts and everything, you'll have to pay extra, which costs around $4 per month in the premium application. And what works well?
Yeah. So
You compressed your presentation, right?
no, we just
Oh,
had
you
6
did?
slides from start.
You had?
I mean,
Because I think there is another person who did split. Okay. All right, go on.
So the feature that we chose for what works well was simplified ads. It's in the free version as well. So what it does is if it actually doesn't change anyone's total balance. It just reduces the number of payments so that everyone gets paid quicker. For example, if I owe him $10 and this guy owes him much more than like $10, then I just have to pay him instead of he'll be cut off. So it reduces the number of payments, and so that the totals settle up very quickly.
As you can see here in the example,
So we call this netting in finance.
Yeah, we have
we
actually
have
simulated
Josen
one.
here that has to pay for Vamsi Krishna, and here Vamsi has to pay for Deepak at the same amount. So Josen directly pays to Deepak here for $20, and he doesn't have to pay for Vamsi Krishna. So this reduces the number of payments that we have to, the number of payments overall, and thus it becomes less easy to track everything.
And the next one, so there are few bad features in it. So when you are adding expenses in a mobile app, you do have different filters you can do. By adjustment, there is an option called by adjustment. So let's say if we spend $15, let's say he spent more than $5 or $3 more than both of us, we can here. We had an option for plus or minus, but we could only access plus, that means plus addition in the app, where we cannot access by minus. That means if he paid the $3 extra, he can directly do -3 here, which will add extra money to the main value that is divided here for us. That means, so all the $3, one can be added to him, one can be added for me, and one can be given for him for. So instead of adding +1 here, I can directly do -2 here for him. There is no feature for that. And another one is settle up feature, another option here. There is an option for settle up option. So all the options here, this is a navigation bar in the mobile app. Here is a settle up button. These are all navigating tabs. If you click one of these tabs, you will navigate to specific charts, balances, and totals. But this is a specific button here. You won't navigate to anything, but this is to settle the amounts. So I think this button should not be it is not appealing to be in the navigation bar. So it has to be something here.
Watch the time. Now
Yeah,
your
that's it.
suggestion.
So
Is that your suggestion?
Yeah, I think the setup should be more. It should be more attractive to be here. I think it should be. If it is here, it should be perfect.
It should be separate, so it will be
Yeah.
a more clear UI
Yes.
to separate the visual things.
Yes. And another thing is, you can only add 3 expenses per day in a free version, which is very less, I guess. That's the thing.
Okay. Okay, features to add quickly.
So we went through many features actually, and then we got to know that they were in the Splitwise Pro. So we had to come up with few others. And then,
Oh, it's in the pro version. There is a lot of things. Okay,
just
that's
like
fine.
few minutes ago. So basically, we went through a lot of reviews, and we found that so when you're adding an expense, in the middle of adding an expense, and you're writing how much each other owes, and if you go out of the app to go to a calculator to actually do the percentages and come back, sometimes it's getting reset. You have to again go back to adding expense and fill them. So we thought of adding an inbuilt calculator right there so that you can do it in the same app and write how much other people owe us. And the next one is there's a feature called itemized bill splitting in Splitwise Pro. So what it does is, for example, if you went to a restaurant and few items will be shared by a lot of people and some might not be, and if someone is a vegetarian, they will just see the vegetarian, they won't have any share in the meat dishes. So when you add an itemized bill split, so what it does is for every item in that bill, it can be split between who we want and who we don't want. So there's an include and exclude option. So but it only has a way to directly take a picture and upload it right at the time. So it doesn't allow us to access the gallery to upload the bill. So that is one of the things we thought. And there's a thing, and the other one is notifications of budget tracking. So there's a concept where you can give like how much you want to spend and Splitwise for this time. So if you give a budget for like $250, it just sends you a notification of if you have reached like 50% of the limit or 70% of the limit, 90% of the limit. So because if there's a budget tracking where you can see when you open the app. So
I think we understand that. That's a very good feature. But let's move on to the other ones because we're running out of time. We have still 5 more groups. Thank you very much. This was a really good run through Splitwise. Group 3.
Are there any comments? Any comments?
So what did you all do? Similar stuff.
Hi everyone, we're group 3. I'll start off with introducing ourselves. My name is Ananya.
Brian.
I'm Dee. And I'm Juliana.
And we chose the app All Trails to do a review. So for those of you who don't know, All Trails is a really great app because it provides a consolidated amount of information about localized trails and outdoor activities where users would normally have to search that and put that pieces together to get this sort of information. It has great user experiences because of how easy it is to use. As you can see on the upper screen nav bar, there's like a nearby section allowing people to just figure out what's nearby and get all the information they need about the trails, including the difficulty, see other people's opinions on it, and just be able to determine if this is it for them and get more information, including a map. And the way it makes money is it allows a premium GPS tracking service on top of this that allows people to really see where they are on the map and also send and communicate to other users.
So now onto the good. I think right off the bat, the thing that I noticed first was it just had a very intuitive design. And I think that kind of comes with that it followed a framework that a lot of popular apps that are used today, like the App Store, Amazon, all use this like navigation bar with like 5 options basically to switch between tabs. And then it's just a constant scroll to like find new hikes. And so that just made it really easy to figure out how to use as someone who just downloaded the app. And then besides that, it just has like a thematic aesthetic, meaning that when I go on the hiking app, it kind of makes sense that you have an understanding of the aesthetic, like kind of fits the vibe of the app. And so like you can't really tell from the picture, but it's like a darker green. It just has like a naturey vibe to it. And so that just was a nice UI choice. Besides that, like Ananya said, they have a hiking tracker, and so they use this GPS. And this, I didn't actually take a hike, but what it would do is it show you the trail that you hiked, how much distance, and just like basically just so you could store all of your hikes if you want to ever go back. And so it's just a useful feature. And then the last thing is the community feature, which in theory is actually really good because basically it allows people to add their opinions on how they thought the hike went, if they have any insights, and just if they think it's a good for a beginner, advanced hiker, just everything. So in theory, it's just a really helpful feature.
Yeah, so the bad of the app is that a lot of users report their battery being consumed from the GPS being in the background and being on the app. Another issue are the potential UI bugs that certain users may come across accidentally. So on the left picture is an example of a recorded hike for one pathway at a national park, but in reality it records 3 separate events of different hikes taking place instead of just one. And then the major one that I found was the fact that the community what is it called? Just feature in general is good in theory, but it has a lot of misinformation. So for example, on the right here, it's actually a lot of reviews on the base camp on Mount Everest. And so people are joking saying, oh, my grandma fell into one of the crevices, or like giving false information about hikes. And another implementation of the community feature is that people can design their own hikes, which has a lot of reports of actual false trails. So people actually get stuck or have to call for help.
And so piggybacking on the fact that this app consolidates a lot of information. Some of it is from the community, some of it is just people who go on a hike. And so because of this kind of like difficulty verifications, you want to check on the official sources sometimes. So a way of going through that is just to check like the official information that they have. However, as you can see on the app, they only have like this contact section where basically it's just kind of like this block of plain text. Not only is it just like plain paragraphs kind of style, you also can't click on it and you also can't select on it at its current state. So a feature proposal would be to create a more definite space to provide official information should you need to check it or to call like the park services or whatnot. So by doing this, we would be able to make use of this space with a more meaningful purpose. We would be able to click on the website or call them directly by establishing these features, as well as making it look more cleaner space and allowing streamlined access. That's the end of our presentation. Any questions?
It was really good and like super on time. Thank you guys. But questions to group 3? No questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Let's get group 4.
Good evening.
Yeah, go on.
Good evening, everyone. We are Group 4. We will introduce the Quizlet learning platform with tools for memorization and problem solving. It was created by a high school student in 2005 for his French class. This is the main timeline. And this is some activeness data. Okay, so the target audience is very clear. It is for who are learning and who are teaching. Obviously, the learning potential is the main part. Quizlet is widely adopted mainly because it's efficient study tools and ample resources. The next thing I want to mention is about 3 parts. Premiers, subscription, ad, and collaboration with publisher sort of things.
So the app has a modern and modular design. Its intuitive interface lets users to quickly create and access study sets. Quizlet offers multiple ways to study. Flashcards are flippable and swappable. It's like just like physical ones, and they are designed to help users to sort what they know and don't know while studying. It's perfect for quick reviews between studies or on the go. Learn Mode generates practice questions based on any deck of flashcards to challenge your knowledge. Engaging games like Match makes studying fun by reinforcing knowledge through play. Quizlet's Q-Chat features uses AI technology to adapt to users' learning needs. It's like having a personal tutor, providing an interactive and personalized learning experience.
Okay. There are some small issues here in this app. So for UI/UX, there are some pages that lack of coherence. So when the user press a button in the middle of the flashcard preview, they expect related content to pop up, but it isn't. So this discontinuity can confuse the user and disrupt the flow of their experience. And the second one is that some pages display too much content, especially the user-generated content, and the text size are not limited. So the text may display too small or too large for the user to read comfortably. And for the functionality, the first one is that there's no preview when a user want to add some new sets to the folder. So the user can only identify what they are going to add by the title. And the second one is that the sets in the folder can only be sorted by the recent usage and the title. So for some user that want to organize their file, they can do anything like that. And the last one is that the invitation mechanism in this app can only allow external links. So it requires user to switch between this app and a website. So it is hard for them to use.
Okay, so consequently, here are some proposed features and their corresponding apps instances. So the first one is instead of using some like other links as URLs to invite other users, we use the generated, maybe we can use QR code. Here's a QR code from the app called Lark. It's an app based on a focus on cooperative tasks. As you can see, you can easily to use a QR code generated by the group to invite other people. It's like perfect for a meeting like this, like pretty much like improvised meeting. So, and the second one might be like a notification system from Duolingo. So Duolingo is like pretty famous because of its like active and enthusiastic community. You can invite other users for competition and for like to hold a challenge together to keep each other up to pace, and yeah, you can keep practicing, and that helps you a lot, especially for some long-term learning procedures. And third one is like related to some UI designations. So as you can see, like in Quizlet, the flashcard page is like mixed sometimes, especially with some advertisements. But this one's from Greenscape. It's like pretty clean, pretty professional page, only with like the answer and the question itself. It makes users more focused, so it will like make better user experience. And that's all. Thank you.
Very good. Any questions for group 4? Yes.
Does the app keep track of user progress at all? Like, for example, you did the flashcards once, maybe you only know 9 of 20, and the next time you do it, you know more, or give you common trends of like which ones you normally forget and stuff like that.
Actually, Quizlet has this is actually its shortcoming. You can only like manually add the flashcard as read or unread, or like you forget it, or it's like you're quite familiar with it. So yeah, that's a good point. We can use it as some incoming elements.
Good question. Thank you, guys. Group again. Group 5 now.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, let's start.
Hello, everyone. This is Group 5, and we are going to analyze the app of Uber Eats. And for the target audience of this app, it is for people who are looking for convenient food delivery service, and it's also for the restaurant who seek to expand their customer base and grow revenue. And for the problem it solves. It's providing convenience for customers to select food without leaving their homes. And it will also offer restaurants the perfect delivery service without the relevant complex requirement. And it also provides flexible income opportunities to its carriers. For the monetization, it has delivery fees. The fee is charged based on distances and demand. And we also have service fee. It is percentage-based fee per order, and we have revenue share. The platform will take a commission from partner restaurants on every order. And we also have the subscription fees. It is a membership fee to reduce service fees and receive coupons.
And about what's good with that app is its functionality was pretty useful. Like you can see on the homepage of the app, like there's a deliver fee, deliver time, and special offers and discount food types, and where to order or where to deliver, and the rating, popularity, and deliver time for the each restaurant, and that's all you care about delivery. And the other good things is that the user interface and the layout was pretty simple and clear, and it minimized the distraction. Like everything on the interface was useful, and you can see it also used elevations to show users where to interact, and intuitive icons, and the user-friendly navigations. The navigation structures is pretty intuitive and allow users to easily find the content they need, and to ensure the quick access to the core features. And
I will talk about what's the bad. And I think the first one is the chance of missing food. I have lost my food twice with a probability of 15%. But the software shows it has been delivered. It gives customer a bad experience. And after I lost my food, I connect with them through the online, but there was no agent to contact with me. So finally, I called them. It took me 30 minutes to get my money back. And I think the third bad thing is there exist some small icons. It requires multiple attempts to tap accurately to get the result.
Which icon are you talking about?
Show the location.
This one.
Oh,
this one.
Too small icons.
Yeah, and especially for the phones with smaller screens, it needs to try a lot of times. And the next.
A great new feature can be added to the Uber Eats app is the personalized nutritionist. This AI-powered feature can provide user personalized meals recommendations based on users' health goals, dietary preference, and nutritional needs. And the AI will analyze users' past order data and nutritional content of the meals on the menu, and users' input to suggest meals that align with users' health or fitness goals, such as weight loss, muscle gains, and balanced diet. And the key features include a health goal integration. The users can just set their health goals in the app. Nutritional breakdown. The AI will just analyze the nutritional content of the meals on the menu and provide detailed breakdown to the users to make informed decisions. And smart recommendations, for instance, it will suggest high protein meals for someone that is trying to build muscle, and low calorie options for users that is on a weight loss journey. And benefits included like convenience. The users don't need to consider the nutritional values. The AI will take care of it. And also the motivation for health goals. It will motivate the users to stick with their health goals, combining the food delivery with the fitness tracking. And that's all. That's the end of our presentation.
It was a really good presentation, and also, the suggestion is very nice. Generally, to go in that direction about tying up the food's nutritional value and health. Any questions for Group 5? No? Thank you. And let's have Group 6, and then we'll have just one more before a quick break. We're not doing bad on time, I have to say. Doing good on time. Thanks to the timer. Another splitwise.
Hi everyone, for group 6, I'm Kim Song, this is Piyush,
I'm Rachid. And I'm Aditya.
and we're also doing splitwise. So we're covering this in 4 sections. We'll try to keep it short because we are the 16 slide group. Simplifying. So the main purpose is to simplify expense tracking and splitting and settling. Ensure that everyone is contributing and fairly paying their fair share. A few target audience is not applicable to everyone. However, if you're rooming with some people, you want to maybe split the bills or rent and such, groceries. When you're traveling with a group, you normally go out for group dinners and stuff. Certain people pays whatever, and certain restaurants only accept one card payment or something like that. So they're always good for those kind of things, along with transportation and such. As a couple, sometimes you have shared marital expenses, whether it's saving up for a new mortgage, like saving up for a mortgage or something, and you want to keep track of your weekly, monthly spending and stuff. It's always a great way to do your budgeting. So in terms of monetization, Splitwise has a free and also premium option. This is some statistics on how much money they've made for just 2024. I think a lot of it comes from fundraising though, and as a financial app, they're ranked 39 at the moment as of yesterday. And those are just some additional upgrades that you get for doing the premium option.
Okay, so as for the goods of the app, Splitwise is a fairly simple app. So for it gives an option for splitting and aggregating debts across all groups for a particular friend. So you can just settle up with that friend regardless of what you owe in different groups. You can settle up with that friend. That's what we thought was really good and cool. The next thing is splitting cost equally, unequally. You can select as many peoples in the group and split in percentages or using custom shares. That's really cool to have. The next one. The next one that we felt was really good, was also mentioned by those guys, is having simplified group debts. So it reduces the number of transactions within the group. So it reduces the number of holding, basically. The next is the shortcomings.
The bad things that we address in the app is in terms of UI. As you can see, this screen, as we highlighted this screen, this is very cluttered screen. So we can make it better. So we identify this as a improvement, and this is a very cluttered screen, and user is confused where to navigate now. Next, you have overall owed. You can see overall owed $150. So it is not highlighted on the screen. So we can make it better in terms of UI. And the next is settlement uncertainty. So when someone paid and someone owed, so there is a no verification step to ensure that the person owed has received payment. So these are the bad things that we identify in the app.
Alright. Some of the proposed features and something that we actually felt while using the app was, firstly, while settling up, there are no in-app payment options, anything even redirecting to let's just say to a Zelle account or to a Venmo account from where that you can directly. So let's just say you get the functionality to add a person's you can add your accounts into the app itself, and then you can as a friend you can go to their account and directly send it to them. So that would be one step less. So right now I would have to go to, let's just say, open the app for any bank, put in the ID for Zelle, and then set it up with that person. Then the second one that we felt was like filtering the past activities. There are no filters in general, like at least not in in the free version. There are some in Splitwise Pro, but then filtering past activities is something like you can see in last 6 months or last 4 months how much you have spent on groceries as roommates or something like that. So I think those kind of filters would be helpful. And then graphical indicators, I think something that Piyush mentioned was like, so the most important point, which is like, so yeah, you are owed, but then you don't have any graphical indicators for the same. Like if it is shown in a much better.
Is this your suggestion?
Yeah, something like
That's
this.
very nice. Yeah.
So I think some kind of graphical indicators at each point would be a little better for the overall user functionality and UX. So yeah, that's about it.
That was very good. Thank you. And thanks for cutting it down. Fantastic. Any questions? No. Okay, so we're now going to go with our group 7.
Disclaimer, this is not our design. This is from someone else's proposal online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the honesty. All right. Okay, guys, let's pay attention now to group 7.
I'm Madhuri. I'm Pujita.
Possible you speak up a little bit. We don't have a microphone, but I don't think they can hear you.
It is owned by Amazon and contains an extensive database of books. It provides a platform for the target users to communicate, discover, and take notes about the books. The target users include readers, book clubs, members, viewers, authors, and publishers. Advertisements are shown between the pages to make money, and also the companies related to books offer promotion and sponsorship to the application. To analyze it deeper, we will go into more details.
Now, I would like to talk about the good features of Goodread. So, firstly, the user-friendly interface. The design is simple and intuitive, which allows users to easily navigate the app, whether they want to add a book or explore the features of the app. Nextly, the search and discovery. Here, if you see here, you can search the book by its title, author, ISB number, or genre. In the search engine, there is an advanced feature too, where you can upload the picture, like book cover picture, or you can scan the barcode of the book to get exactly the book you want. And there is also a discover option where if you hit the discover option, you will get this curator list, which include the releases in this month or releases in this year, or the books recommended by your friends. When it comes to organization, Goodreads allows personalized tracking and organization, where you can categorize your books, like the books you want to read, the books you have already read, and the books you are currently reading. And it also have integrated with the Kindle, so you can track the currently reading books within the app itself. The last one is community engagement. In this, you can rate the book, or you can write reviews or share your thoughts on the reviews. You can also participate in the reading challenges, which helps you to connect with the fellow readers and stay motivated.
So
Moving on to the bad features, a lot of people thought that the UI for this app was very outdated, whether that's like the color theme or how the pages in the app interact with each other. And there's limited customization. So like we said, the search allows you to query by title, author, ISBN, but it lacks specific filters like publication year or book length, like depending on how short or long you want your read to be, or awards. And it's hard to find the recommendations page, and we thought this was very important considering for any like streaming or like media consuming platform, we want the recommendations page to be easy to find, and in Goodreads it's kind of hidden under like a different tab. And there's also lack of moderation. So Goodreads has a community in the commenting, and sometimes people can leave really negative and harmful comments. So we thought it would be nice to have some moderation like how other forums or platforms have.
So in addition to it, we also, as an engineers, we have found a few performance issues. One is inconsistent settings. So settings vary between a web browser, web application, as well as an Android application with respect to iOS. They have 3 different applications, significant applications, and such inaccuracies. As my friend said that there are different ways to search a book, but those are not accurate. They are not appropriate to search a book. So if, for example, if I want to search for a Dune, it is showing multiple reasons, multiple books which are not appropriate for it. So maybe that's a misguidance for them. And so as my friend said, there is a community to chat with, and there is an improper tagging. We can't tag them properly, or we cannot respond to them properly. And next comes
So I'm just gonna skip over the improvements part and jump right into the new features. So one prominent new feature that we can add to this, which would resonate with a lot of readers, would be to support audiobooks. Because audiobooks have grown in popularity over the years, and regardless of whether you're reading the hard copy of the book or listening to the same title through an audiobook, you should be able to review those audiobooks or even search for them and provide feedback on them and so on and so forth. And another feature we could think of to add to Goodreads would be making specific reading lists or shelves available offline so that you can consult different books that you've saved on those shelves or lists whenever you should be able to. And the last feature we'd suggest would be filtering reviews based on certain keywords or phrases that reflect themes in a book. Like if I want to judge like a work of historical fiction based on whether it's historically accurate, so what we would think is that along with a search bar for the reviews, you could include probably 10 buttons reflecting the top 10 themes or elements covered within a book, and you can filter according to those as well.
Wow. Thank you. That was great. Okay. Any questions? From Song?
You mostly covered about like the UI experience with the storefront and searching through navigation and stuff, but what about the actual reading experience?
So it's just suggestions, and you can add your books which you want to read. It's like a thing which we can't read any book in that. It's just a book review or any book updates which you want to read. It's kind of a notepad where you want to add your books to a shelf or something. In future, I would like to read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically not like it's not like Kindle where you can download books and read on it. It just keeps track of your reading progress, or it's mostly for cataloging and reviewing basically. So it's not a reading app.
Okay, thank you very much. And thanks for everyone. I think we've really kept everything almost in time, and they were all very interesting presentations. I hope you liked them as much as I did. But I don't know if that exercise gave you another perspective of looking at apps, as an app builder rather than as a user, right? I mean, I think the same critical thinking when we're looking at these apps we should apply when we're doing our project app. So let's take 5 minutes, but really 5 minutes. So let's get back here at 8:13. It's 8:08 now, 8:13, and then we'll do installations, and hopefully we'll try to get the Flutter Hello World app to run. Okay, so let's get back here at 8:13 in 5 minutes. Yes.
Correct time ke mat.
Really? He couldn't get it to run.
He's tried. I forgot my.
It should work. I mean, as far as I know, it should work. But yeah, you know, in the in Canvas, I've put a link for today's for the installations. So if you look here. Software installations. This is what we're going to. Huh? You have VS Code. So. But I saw this. I mean, there is this link here. I mean, this one, this NVM for Windows. Okay, I mean, if you don't want to put the NVM on Windows, it's fine. We just need to, when we're doing the cloud functions, we just need to install the, version 20 of Node.
Yeah, just for
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Your what? Your laptop?
He wants to read his map.
Where is it? Oh, you can go get it. Yeah.
It's gonna take him half an
hour. It's not that important. You can do it later. You can install it later. Which machine do you have now?
Windows.
You can do it later. So the last item on the introduction module, if you can open that slide, it has the links. That clock is wrong. I was looking at that clock. Okay. Here we go. wait for 2 more minutes. Okay, who has Visual Studio Code already installed? VS Code, you have installed? You? VS Code? Yeah, okay, perfect. So we will skip the VS Code. Yeah? Now on the Mac, you can run this in the terminal to install the homebrew, and then we can use homebrew to install NVM, and then once NVM is installed, then we install the latest version of Node. And for those on Windows, there is this link on NVM installation, but maybe you want to skip the NVM installation and just install the Node.js, but install version 20 of Node.js. Okay, so what do you have on your machine? The Mac? Okay, this file you should open in your laptop so you can copy these commands.
I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it at home, okay.
First step, it's
when you install, you'll see some few options. And one
Oh.
of it is what kind of app is that you want to.
Okay, do it Android, that's fine. Yeah, I think it will allow you to install from GitHub. And you'll also need Android Studio.
Two different devices की यार Mac ला iOS easy
Okay, does anybody need help with any step? So our objective is to get, if everybody has VS Code, to get Flutter installed and Node installed or NVM installed and the Android Studio installed. Because the Android Studio is going to give us the Android emulator, and Node we're going to use not today, but we're going to use eventually for cloud functions.
On the Flutter website, do we just, like, when you ask, like, choose your first type of browser, you just...
Yes, that's fine.
Just simple stuff like that.
Which you render studio. Yeah, we'll do it.
Install.
To install Flutter first, then add the extension or just add extension.
You can add extension, but you know, important that you install Flutter. You can add extension anytime you want. Yeah.
Add the extension is not necessary, but install Flutter.
Yes, but I think extension also necessary because for us to code, without the extension, it's impossible to code. It's very easy to code when you have this.
మీ దాంట్లో బ్యాక్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో యూనివర్సల్ అదే సైడ్ అడ్డు ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ సైడ్ యూనివర్సల్
Come in, please. Oh, provider. No, because you don't have Firebase account yet.
I created one.
You created one.
What you see?
Maybe yeah, just the hosting. Actually, sorry. Cloud functions. Cloud functions with Node.js. Yes, so the way you select it is your space and then enter. So use an existing new project. Because we haven't created a project yet, maybe we don't need to do this step yet. Or you can just say create a new project. It's fine. No, it's fine. You can just say create it. Actually, just exit from here for now. Let's do that. If you have everything else entered, you have Node?
Yeah.
Node.js?
Yes.
Okay. And you have Flutter extensions also in there?
Yes.
Okay. Which version is it? 22. I may need 20, but Okay, maybe 22 will be fine. 20, 22, it doesn't matter. It's both will be fine, I think. Node. ET. Yeah, if you could get at least 20.
Extension is for it will suggest the
Can
code
you,
when you're coding.
do you have NVM or no?
Flutter installation, yes, but it has to have a system as well. Why will it have? That is VS to Flutter not Flutter.
NVM installed. No, you don't have NVM.
Like adding Python extension.
Okay, then try to find download the 20th version of Node.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I copy this command for the Flutter installation, but it was showing here. Extension download.
I don't know about this software update. I've never seen this command before.
Yeah, it's from the so you give the link here, right? This from this
Yeah,
one.
got that.
So
Macaway.
then I have to install a setup for that first.
Configuration, copy.
So
But that's for Apple Silicon. Is it Apple Silicon? Is it a new Apple or old Apple? New one. But maybe you won't need it. Okay, just try to install it as normal. Software updates. Yeah, try to install it normal. Maybe it won't need it.
Pieces.
Yes. Android Studio, we need to create a the device, the virtual device. So those of you who have already come to Android Studio, open Android Studio, go to Tools, Device Manager. Tools, Device Manager, and here we'll go and add a new device. Create virtual device. Okay. So we're on the device manager screen from tools. Create virtual device, phone, let's say Pixel 8. Who is stuck? Give me some feedback where you guys are. I don't see all your screens. Who needs help? You need help. Okay. Yes.
Just trying to get the
So downloading the SDK.
It'll build initially. You created a project, right?
Yeah, just the like.
Yeah, go to virtual device manager.
Yeah, it'll take some time to build.
Yeah, I loaded it onto like Chrome, so the Chrome the web version works, but I haven't like, get it onto iOS.
So it has a different interface. Maybe your Android SKU is newer than mine, but it shouldn't be a problem. So we say next to Pixel 8, and then it's the Android 4. I think Android 15 is already here, but this is fine. You know, the 34 API, and then you just select next. Enable device frame and finish. So there we have our second virtual device. Okay, so the idea is on the device manager we have at least one virtual device that we can run from Flutter. Okay, can we start experimenting? Is everybody ready with the Flutter, VS Code, and Android?
Waiting for the SDK to install.
You're waiting for the SDK to install. Okay. Which one?
The Android.
Android SDK. Okay. Yes.
It won't install even after like 23
On which Wi-Fi are you?
Yeah, it's 2% now. It's at 2% currently.
Oh, it's a start now. Maybe you want to cancel it, do it again?
Which package? I have installed that previously.
Yeah, it will come with.
Go to more actions.
Yeah, I've already downloaded the
Android studio package.
Yeah, I already have
Device manager is not there.
Android API.
Maybe you
Just
can
trying to
do it
download
again.
this.
I don't know. Yeah,
Mine
maybe
was
just
a bit
do it
different because mine was mine.
Sorry.
You install other packages.
It's right now.
I'll have to add 3-4 packages.
So for those of you who are ready to go, go to I created this directory CSEN 268, and I'm going to put the test projects underneath, so maybe you should do the same. Go to your folders and create a top-level folder, but not the project folder yet, because we're gonna now create a test project folder with Flutter. Yes, there is. It's the class recording. It's also recording this screen and the class, both of them. So it's available on the Camino, but I also put it on YouTube. But on Camino you have the Panopto thing, so you can do it more. But you have to be logged into the campus account. Okay. How did you come along with the studio? It's not happening, no?
It's the same. Show you. I just did it, but it like just stopped.
Oh, it's fetching, right?
It's part of
Yeah, maybe it's gonna work.
Oh,
If not, maybe you can just look at your partners and then do that later. Yes. Oh, Android Studio, you have to download from the web. Yeah, just search for Android Studio. Maybe you want to change the language, so switch to English. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, for those of you who couldn't finish it, just look at your partners or neighbors. So we create, using Flutter, create lect3. I'm creating a Flutter folder, okay? So I've created this folder lect3. Do the same. So it will have all these files. The command to create it was Flutter create and then the project name. Okay. So I go to Visual Studio Code, make the screen bigger, font bigger, and then open folder. So the folder, not this one. Sorry. So lect3 we're going to open. Okay, who's there? Hands up, who's already at this step? You guys? No? What do you need? If you need something, just call me quickly. Downloading. Okay.
The internet is very slow.
Downloading. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's just look at this a little bit. So when we get a Flutter project created, we get these files, okay, or these folders. And let's just quickly look at these folders. So there is the Android folder. The Android folder has all the files that's necessary to build an Android application, because at the end of the day, Flutter doesn't run as a native code on the Android. It still needs the translation. It needs all the Android infrastructure. Everything about the Android infrastructure is here in the build Gradles, etc. All the activity, whoever is familiar with Android, it's there. The same is true for iOS. It's basically a typical iOS project with all these things. The only thing is Flutter is going to populate them for us, so we will rarely have to go into this directory to put things. It goes for Linux, macOS, web, and Windows. So these are all the platforms that Flutter is enabling us to do things, okay? Yeah.
What do you do about the whole Google Cloud, like the error message in if you know when you try to create a project and it says operation has failed?
Oh, yeah, don't worry about this for now. We'll talk about Firebase later. We'll have to find another way, because Firebase is, because you won't need Firebase project individually. I think Firebase project we will have a group level. So we'll talk about that later. Let's just get some things going with this Flutter. So, okay, one of the things you should do is that look at these extension, and you should have the Dart extension, the Flutter extension, and then there is another extension called this awesome Flutter snippets, which is sort of boilerplate stuff to reduce writing code for different kind of widgets, etc. So if you can install these three at the minimum, later we will need to install the block as well. But yeah, so these three are important extensions to install. Okay, let's go back to code. So where the code lives is under lib in Flutter, okay? And main.dart is the entry point, although you can change that entry point with the compilation launch JSON of VS Code. So you can change it where to start the compilation, but that's the main entry point. Now, on the bottom right-hand side, you should see a device list. So if you click on that bottom right-hand side, you should see a devices, and you can select different devices. And I'm going to choose the Pixel emulator. And it's basically now running Android Studio in the background to bring up that device. Okay, did you guys get this this page? No, yes, yes, okay. And you have your device up and running. So we now go to this run and debug. And try to run. Okay. You guys are still downloading, or? Okay. Then just look here, and then you'll do. In the worst case scenario, we'll do it later on Thursday in the office hour. We'll fix everything. On Thursday, we should also have a TA. So I interviewed a few TAs. I have just one more. So we'll have a TA that knows Flutter, has good experience in Flutter. So we should be good to go. Okay, this is still running.
Flutter सर्च करो न्यू प्रोजेक्ट बनाओ न्यू प्रोजेक्ट कहाँ से बनाए
ये इस तरीके से करना कमांड लिखना फ्लटर वाला
क्या बोल रहा है बोल रहा है यूज बीएस को वो बोल रहा है कमांड पे फ्लटर टाइप घंटा कुछ नहीं आता
Okay, so in my case, the app has just run. Okay, so this is the hello world of Flutter, basically, and it comes with a stateful widget. Okay, and we'll talk about all of this stuff in a second. And what it does is basically you can push this button, and every time it pushes the button, you change the text on the screen. So who has got this far? Who has got the Hello World running? Kim Song, you have it running?
I'm working on Chrome, but my iOS simulator is still updating. So I tried to build it with my iOS simulator, and it said I need to upgrade it to iOS 18 for it to work.
Yeah, Xcode and stuff, they always want to do us. Has anybody else been able to run it yet? Update.
It's running.
It's
I just debugged it just.
okay. So it's running. Okay. All right. So it looks like we are not going to be able to get it to run on everybody's machine today. So we'll have to have plan B for it. So you can please try to tinker with it at home as much as you can. And then if not, we'll try to do it in the next class. I mean, before class. I could even come a bit earlier, like, 5 o'clock. And all right. So everything in, okay, pay attention, guys. So let's have a look at the screen quickly and do some stuff. So everything in Flutter is widget, right? So the way the only place where it's not a widget is that the run app command, which basically takes a widget as argument and basically launches that widget. And the highest level widget is this my app, okay, which is in this case, a stateless widget. And we'll talk about the stateless widgets in a second. But the my app then each of these widgets has a build method, okay? Build method and it takes the context, and the context cascades over from the other ones. I mean, it's similar to other platforms. So, and what it builds, this My App, what it builds is called a material app. So now the material app is a special kind of widget, okay? It implements a lot of the material mentality, and most importantly, it implements the theme. So material app has a theme variable where you add a theme data, and obviously we will expand this with all the material theme that we've looked at in Figma. And this use material 3 is the last version of material design. And then what it says, this material app, what it needs is a home page, right? Or a home widget. The material app just defines the theme stuff and then sends people to the home page. So the home page is another widget that is the child, effectively, of material app. And let's look at, again, what's the home page. Home page is a stateful widget. Okay, it has, and what it does is it effectively creates a state. Okay, this underscore my homepage state, and in this widget, again we have a build method, right? So every widget either displays either it has an inherent build method where we send a child or something, or an explicit build method. So this is a stateful widget. It has this build method, and in the build, we're building a scaffold, right? Scaffold is effectively the entire screen. Scaffold takes a title, right? It fills up the entire page. It paints it white in the background as the default color. It paints the app bar with the default theme color, etc. Okay, and the scaffold, yeah. So it has a app bar component and it has a body, and in the body we have a centered widget, which again is a widget that occupies the entire space that you put it in. Okay, so the center widget, so this is the scaffold. Scaffold, fills up the entire screen. It puts the app bar in the middle, right? And in the body, it paints whatever you need it to paint. And if you put a center widget, the specialty of center widget is it fills the entire space, and then whatever you put inside, it puts in the center of that thing. So inside the center widget, we put a column, right? And the column has 2 children. So this is the children of this column. Column has 2 children, which is a text, which is this button text, and the counter text, right? And you've pushed the button this many times. This text is default with the body medium thing. If you will remember from Figma, we had 5 different headline, display, body, label, and title, right? And each one of them had small, medium, large. So this one uses as a style, text style, headline medium for the counter, okay? And this is the value of the counter, or the value of the underscore counter variable, right? And we'll understand now in a second how that works. And another feature of the scaffold widget is a floating action button. So this button, which gets painted on the scaffold at the bottom right-hand corner by default, with a default 20 pixel distance from the bottom right-hand corner, is a floating action button, and the on-pressed function for it is increment counter, has a tooltip, the tooltip will be most probably visible only on the web, and then it has a child. So the child of it is basically the graphic inside. So you can have, in this case, you can put any kind of graphic in it. In this case, we're putting a icon widget inside. Now, why do we call it a stateful widget? Is that this widget has the potential to repaint itself, okay? And the way it repaints itself is when we push on this button, it increments the counter, right? So the onPressed function of the floating action button, it calls this increment counter function, but the increment counter function will wrap it around the set state function, right? So we call we do the calculation inside set state. What that means is that it increases the counter, right? And then it also repaints the whole screen. So now when it's trying to repaint the whole screen, the counter value, which is taken from in here, right? That value gets updated on the screen because now the counter has increased, and because the counter has increased, and because we're repainting it, a new number will be put on that screen. Okay, and if you want to debug it, we increment the counter. It came to here, and we should see the values here. We can track the values from the locals, etc. For debugging, it's a easy way to debug. Okay, so this is our sort of dive into Flutter and basically running the Hello World app in Flutter. And if you could please get this thing working by Thursday, that would be great. And if not, then let's meet up here at from 5 o'clock onwards, try to solve all these things. And the next thing I want to show you is these gists in Dart. So in your so obviously we need to get up to speed with Dart, right? So to do that, I created some gists in GitHub, which you can go in and play with. So let's go to, for example, this one. So that's the gist. Okay. What we have in Dart is this thing called Dartpad, which Google gives us. And the nice thing about Dartpad is that if you have a gist and you have the code for the gist, you can just make it into this link and it will automatically open the code in Dartpad. Okay? So that's what I've done for all these things. You should try to, I mean, we don't have time today, but you should try to go through them and try to play with them. So let's open this in Dartpad. Okay. So Dartpad is not as good as VS Code for code completion, etc. But for this purpose, it's good. And also, I think I will ask you to submit any of your coding quizzes, etc. also to GitHub as a gist, so that I can click and open it in Dartpad and run it. Dartpad and run it. So let's just, for example, look at lists and sets in Flutter. Okay, so to make a list, you do it like this. This is a list of strings. So for the type, you put it in these angled brackets. So this is a string list. And the null safety, which we will talk later, we will if we said this, it would complain. So if we said list string the list and not set it equal to something, it would complain. So we initialize it as an empty list. If you want to make a set doesn't contain same items. A set is different than a list. If you want to make a set, then you initialize it with the curly braces, okay? And this one is a result. So if I do this, to add something to the list, it's not push, but it's add in this case. If I add these things to the list or to the set, what I should expect on the list is hello, world, hello as the components, but for the set, it should be just hello and world, okay? Not another hello. So if I run this, okay? So the difference between list and set, I get this result. Let's look at manipulating the list, okay? For example, I want to make all the elements of the list into uppercase. So I take the list, my object list, and then I run the map function, which takes an argument as the content of the list, and then I'm returning the item in uppercase. Okay. The thing is, I want to put this into a new list. Okay. So up to here, it's a iterable, but when I say to list, it turns it into a list, and therefore the result list is printed here with uppercase letters. But the original list is unchanged. Okay? Another thing that I can do on the list manipulation, again, these things will always be necessary for your project to look for first where, for example. First where HELS, obviously it will not be found. But the first where HEL, it will be found. Something that starts with hello, it will be found. And then you can also check membership in list with contains function. So all of these things are in the manuals or in the documentation for these things. And as I said, you can just go here to that module on the Dart module, Dart programming language, and open up these and play. One of the important ones is async. Okay, I don't know how much you guys have done async functions. Have you seen async functions? All of you? Okay, that is just looking at the syntax and also looking at these promises and then resolving all the promises in one go. So you put all the promises into a list of futures, and then you await for